our second session of the day. One bit of housekeeping. There are no fire alarms planned. If you do hear one, don't panic. Paul is going to lead us to safety. He's really good at that. By all means, use social media. There's a hashtag Wales Tech Week. By all means, put any photos, comments on your social media. It'd be great if you can generate some interest in today and the whole week, of course. So, our session at the moment, 11 o'clock till about 11:45, is Growing High-Tech Talent in Wales. It's a panel discussion, as you can see, in collaboration with partner Innovate UK. And we're going to be discussing the translation of academic research and development into Welsh businesses. And we hear from the associates themselves. Now, our chair today, well, we're very lucky. He's a very experienced industrial executive. He's got a proven track record of systems, program management, delivery in telecommunications, UK defence, security, and he's now, I believe, supporting the Knowledge Transfer Network as the Knowledge Transfer Advisor for Wales. Now, we will have some questions, hopefully, later on, but for now, please welcome our chair for the second session, Growing High-Tech Talent in Wales. Please welcome, Professor Rob Rolley.
Good morning, and thank you for coming along to this morning's session. I'm obviously Rob Rolley. I'm the Knowledge Transfer Advisor that supports companies in Wales. Now, hopefully, the explanation of three-letter and acronyms will be covered. There's a few of them, KTPs, KTNs, that we'll go through in the presentation this morning. But my job now is to support companies growing in Wales as a knowledge transfer advisor. I support Wales, and there are a number of people like me around the country, all the way from the Hebrides, which is a great gig, all the way down to Land's End, including Ireland, that do exactly the same thing. So at the end of the presentation, if you want to find out a little bit more about knowledge transfer partnerships, please come and grab me, email me, or whatever, and I will help you. I've been doing this job for around about 2 years, and actually I can say honestly, it's one of the greatest opportunities I've had, because I come along to companies with money and I'm able to transition research from universities or knowledge bases into business to make a real impact. And that is really satisfying. I'm dealing with companies all over Wales, all over different types of subjects. You're going to hear some of them today from some of the associates who I'll introduce shortly. But I've got cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, all the way through to 3D printing in gold, silver and metal, and then charity fundraising. So the scope of these knowledge transfer partnerships is phenomenal. Click up. Right. What I'm now going to do is explain briefly what a knowledge transfer partnership is. As it says up there, it's a partnership. And what it does is it helps UK businesses grow a new product or service. They have a proven track record. They've been around for a while. In fact, 2025 is going to be the 50th year that knowledge transfer partnerships have been around. I think they're a bit of a secret. Not many people know about them. So hopefully today I can encourage people to find out more about them. And what they do is, if you're a business wanting to increase your strategic growth or strategy, they connect you to the best UK research organisations, whether that be a university or a knowledge base, such as a Catapult, of which you've got represented here. It's a three-way partnership, and that partnership includes the business, it's business-led. It includes the knowledge base, which is providing that knowledge. And then there's a very, very important part, the third partnership, some of whom we've got today here. That's the associate. Now, their role is to sit in the business and transfer that knowledge. I'm going to talk about that more in a minute. But a knowledge transfer partnership open to any business, any size, UK business, and they typically last between 12 months and 3 years. Just to put it in context in terms of the numbers, we've got around 800 active projects at the moment that's running. So that's no small number. The portfolio size is 180 million. So it's a significant investment. And we are looking to grow this by 2024 to over 1,000 projects active in the UK. As I say, sometimes not many people know about it. These people on my left, the associates, and their role is at the centre of the knowledge transfer partnership. Their role is to transfer that fundamental research from the university or knowledge base, Catapult, into the business. They own the project, they run the project, they deliver the project. These are going to be future business leaders. KTPs not only deliver business benefit, but they also deliver skills and provide opportunities. How many times have you heard that the UK is suffering a talent shortage? This is a fantastic way of growing UK talent in businesses. 75% of associates go on to be employed by the company that they did KTP with. That's not surprising, right? If you've got someone in your business between 12 months and 3 years, that's an interview process. So you really get to know the associate, and they're making a real difference to the business. As I said, I really enjoy this job, and one of the best bits is seeing these associates grow during that duration of the KTP, the opportunity that it presents them, not only in the KTP, but beyond the KTP. That in essence is a KTP. I'll talk more about it later, but rather than me talking, what I'd like to do is introduce Matt, our first associate, who's going to tell you a little bit about his journey from KTPs. Matt, over to you.
Thank you, Rob. Okay, so I am an associate, a KTP associate on one of these knowledge transfer partnership projects. I'm still on my project at the moment. I've been doing it for almost 3 years now. But I'll tell you a little bit about how I kind of got there, first of all. I didn't really have a traditional career path. I'm 37 years old now, and from the age of 18, actually played online poker and traveled around the world gambling for a living for almost 10 years. It was something that I loved, honestly. I've always been good at mathematics, I've been good at statistics, probability, and I was terrible at poker for 2 years while I was obsessed and devoted to learning how to play. After about 10 years, I had some success. I traveled around the world and I represented different poker sites, playing tournaments for them and wearing their clothing. But 10 years was, for me at the time, a long time to be doing anything. And I was foolish. I was 28 years old and I thought, I've spent too much of my life doing this already. And because I'd spent a lot of time learning the mathematics of poker, a friend of mine suggested that I do a degree in maths. I spent 3 years learning maths, the theory and application of probability and statistics, and really got me started. I was always interested in solving problems. So for me, as somewhat of an introvert, poker was excellent. I could solve a problem and I could do it in the kind of quiet security of my own home and not really having to put myself out there. After I'd finished a maths degree, I went to Bristol University, and it was there that I started moving towards computer science. I studied the mathematics of cybersecurity, and it was there that I learned how to kind of do AI and machine learning. And very quickly after I graduated there, I applied for a project that was very far out of my depth, if I'm honest. The aim was to create an AI system that could not be manipulated by an attacker. At that point, I thought this was amazing. It was far above my head. But I applied, and I'd never heard of a KTP before, but I got onto it. My kind of appetite for risk is, I would say, actually quite low. I like to do things that are dangerous or risky, but in a careful manner. And I joined this KTP project with the plan to create a safe and secure AI system to detect malware for Airbus, working with Cardiff University. And one of the main reasons you need to create safe and secure AI is so that the people using them and the people that they're affected by can trust the technology that they're using. Here we can see 4 people, and in a world where most communication nowadays is done online and often between anonymous parties, it's really important that when we interact with people, we know that those people are real. All 4 of these images are computer generated. They've been generated by AI and they're not real. However, if you were approached by any of them, you might be fooled into thinking that they were real and start relationships. So the European Commission actually only defined AI for the first time this year. It was a very broad definition of AI that essentially said that any system that makes predictions about what it sees is artificial intelligence. It also demanded that when people develop or deploy these systems, that they do it in a reliable way that doesn't harm or affect the people negatively that they're supposed to help. And in business, it would be foolish not to at least explore the opportunity to use AI to drive value. In Airbus, these things can be used to create logistic routes. They can be used to detect whenever a system needs replacing, but they can also be used to detect objects or classify images or detect malware. And when the people that are using these systems deploy them, or when they use them, they need to trust that the decisions that they're believing are helpful, are accurate. And these are some of the minimum requirements for an AI system. Google actually, under the domain of reliable AI, say that any AI system or machine learning system where an adversary acts, there are no known defenses to the attacker. So this is an area that is still an ongoing area of discussion and something that really has no solution at the moment. But I was tasked with finding a solution to this in my project. And for a couple of years, very frustrating years, I tried everything that I could to create a system that could not be attacked by an adversary. And it was frustrating. I spent a lot of time trying to understand how to figure out a problem that at the moment does not have a solution. But it allowed me to get comfortable being in this uncomfortable situation where there was no certainty. I was guided by Rob, and I was guided by Pete Burnap, who is a cybersecurity professor at Cardiff University, and within Airbus by a supervisor called Matilda Rode, who now works for the British AI Council. I would say that when I entered this, I thought that I could do everything on my own. I thought that I could solve any problem. But this has really taught me actually the importance of collaboration. And soon after I started the project, I realized that I needed the help of these people that knew this field much better than me. And this project actually gave me the opportunity to do that. It's been almost 3 years now. And although there's no solution to safe and secure AI, there is a lot of development and movement towards the direction of AI that we can at least trust. Most of the direction that I've moved in has been to creating a system that knows where it fails. And if you know where your system fails, then at least you can protect against that. And if you know where it fails, you also know where you can trust it. During the KTP, I didn't just have the opportunity to work on my project, I also had the opportunity to speak. And as someone that is reasonably scared of speaking in public, I took on the challenge of speaking at the Hay Literary Festival to non-technical people about what safe and secure AI looks like. Excuse me. This actually sold out in 24 hours. And then I realized that I was speaking to almost 1,000 people about AI on stage, something that I'd never done before. So apart from just speaking to people on stage, it was probably actually one of the most transformative moments of my career was when I realized that actually I could do that. I was extremely scared going up, and then after that, it gave me the confidence to pursue any of the kind of areas that I'd been scared of before in my project. As you can see, the picture below kind of shows what malware detection looks like in practice. There's a few ways to do it. One, we can look at a malicious piece of software, and we can look at how it's actually written and compare that to a set of malicious strings that we already know. And another way is to monitor exactly what the machine is doing when that software is executed. And this just shows 10 different system statistics being monitored over 19 seconds in a way to try and detect whether or not that software was malicious. We can show in a laboratory setting, we can do this actually with 95% accuracy in just 5 seconds. And actually, that's a pretty decent result. If we combine that with other malware detection systems, actually we've got something pretty unique. And the only problem here is that we've used machine learning or we've used AI to solve this problem. And right now there's a low level of trust in AI systems. We have to increase the amount of trust that we have in those systems in an effort to actually use them to drive value in the business. And it's something that I've worked on, not just the socialization of the problem, but the technical problem as well. And you can see that it's not just one-dimensional. But what have I learned from the KTP? Well, I've got the confidence to speak in public. I've got the confidence to speak to stakeholders. I can communicate problems and solutions that are very technical to a non-technical audience. But I've been given the opportunity to really drive the project forward in a way that I would like. And I've solved a problem that I thought was really important for solving. And I've now been able to take the knowledge that I know, and I've created an event for Airbus that tries to help build a community around trust of AI systems. And it's one of those things that I would never have done 3 years ago. So I'm really lucky to have been part of this project. There's a few months to go, and we're really kind of just disseminating everything that we've learned into the business.
As you can see, we've got Ella with us. We weren't expecting Ella to be with us, and she's kindly produced a video. So rather than all that good work go to waste, we'd like to run that video.
Hi everyone, my name's Ella.
Videos and PowerPoints are always a challenge, and hopefully this is going to run. Up. Up. Why does it do this? Sorry. Go for it.
Hi everyone, my name's Ella Newington and I'm the marketing manager at Hexigone Inhibitors. And we're currently doing a joint KTP, which is a management KTP with Swansea University. So just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I completed an economics degree a good few years back now, sprinkled in with a few ski seasons. And then like most graduates, I was a little bit unsure about what role to go into. So I ended up in a junior marketing role. And quickly fell in love with that career path just because I really love how varied each day is. And you can get sort of quick results from, you can see quick results from, especially in digital marketing. And it sort of fed into my economics degree as well with sort of a mathsy background. So it all came full circle in the end. And I decided then to upskill myself through the Digital Marketing Institute. And then that gave me the confidence to go on to sort of apply for other positions as well then within marketing. So I've got a big mixture of B2C and B2B marketing roles. I was actually working for Swansea University in a research project and freelancing as well when I saw the opportunity with the MKTP come up. I was on maternity leave. I had a 3-month-old at the time. But I got interviews and I managed to get the job and I was thrilled. And then I started the post 6 months later. So what is my MKTP all about? Essentially, it's to help Hexigone grow and to transfer knowledge out of the university from the senior marketing lecturers into the Hexigone to give it more strategy. Previously, it was quite reactive rather than proactive. So this MKTP is all about sort of competitor research and, sort of researching regional markets, finding target markets, and exploiting campaigns to create leads and, yeah, like I say, just help the company grow. And just to give you a bit of a background about what Hexigone does, they manufacture corrosion inhibitors in Baglan in South Wales. So the technology was actually spun out of Swansea University. It was discovered in 2015, and essentially it can directly replace the market-leading corrosion inhibitor, which is currently getting phased out globally because it's carcinogenic. So it's already been banned in the EU, and it's sort of getting phased out around the world, like I say. So big gap in the market to plug there, a really exciting opportunity. So this little video is only a minute long, but it will tell you a little bit more about Hexigone.
3.2% of the world's CO2 emissions come from newly manufactured steel to replace corroded steel, which costs the world economy trillions of dollars a year. Coating systems containing inhibitors are used to prevent corrosion and slow corrosion down. Hexigone's additives bring coatings to life, making them smart and self-healing. Our technology uses chemical intelligence to detect corrosion. The inhibitors are trigger-released so that protection is on demand. Hexigone is utilizing waste streams and recycling them into the IntelliIon products. This will prevent thousands of tons of material going into landfill or incineration. Hexigone's IntelliIon anti-corrosive additives replace heavy metals, phosphates, and toxic chromates with highly effective, environmentally friendly organic additives. IntelliIon enables coatings manufacturers to remove warning labels. IntelliIon additives have been exhaustively efficacy tested by Hexigone, as well as by international coating producers through numerous industry standard weathering assessments in a broad spectrum of resin types, coating types, and coatings manufacturing routes. Please visit our website for more information.
Okay, so that was about Hexigone. In terms of the opportunities that this MKTP has brought me, one of the big things is that I'm getting to do, massive global campaigns targeting different regions across the globe from the little office in Baglan. So there's not many marketing roles where I can drive 20 minutes just to, work on such exciting sort of projects with big international organizations as well. So it's really sort of elevated my campaign experience from perhaps just being UK based to, for example, targeting India, targeting Brazil or the USA. In terms of the training, obviously, each KTP has a budget, and I've managed to use mine to get my level 6 of the Chartered Institute of Marketing. So that's one off from the highest one I can get now. So I'm aiming to get that one perhaps next year. Yeah, I'm really thrilled to be able to have the budget and the time to have completed something like that, because in the marketing world, that's like a massive badge of honor. So that's going to really fare me well in the future roles. But I'm lucky enough that Hexigone have already said that they'd like to keep me on as the marketing manager for Hexigone anyway. In terms of travel, this is a picture of myself at the European Coating Show in Germany. This market is, absolutely enormous. I'd never heard of corrosion inhibitors before working for Hexigone, but you learn fast that it's an absolutely enormous industry, because obviously it feeds into huge sectors such as aerospace, automotive, general industrial, so these big shows that are normally, about 5 or 6 of them around the world. And the one in Germany is renowned to be one of the biggest ones. I'm also going to Brazil in November as well to sort of see the show there called Abrafati. So again, it's just a really good opportunity to network with our distributors and industry leaders alike. And of course, last but not least, the support from the experienced marketing lecturers as well. I've got 2 senior members of the Swansea University marketing team to sort of guide me through this process. And we're currently working on a 5-year strategy with them for Hexigone. So that's something I've never done before. So I'm really sort of learning a lot from them through the process and implementation of this. So in terms of my top achievements so far, I've sort of implemented a CRM system, so customer relationship management system. So essentially, this is just a place to put, you know, all of your leads, a place to manage them effectively, to nurture them effectively. When I first started working for Hexigone, we had 150 leads, and they were just in someone's head. They've left now, they're in someone's head. So I had to pull all that information out, get it organized, put a sales process in place, qualify the leads, make sure we're doing the right things at the right time, sending them the right communications. So, you know, this is particularly important for Hexigone because you've got an 18-month to 2-year sales pipeline. So, you know, some marketing efforts that I do today will actually come into fruition until 2 years later. So just shows how much you've got to nurture that lead the whole way through and not forget about anyone along this process. I've pulled in some some big marketing strategy. This timeline is a sort of an example of the events that we're making sure we're at this year. And each event has a 2-month campaign ahead of it, making sure that brand awareness is really increased in that region ahead of us going to the show, so that we really maximize on you know, return on investment, return on marketing spend when we're actually at these shows as well. These are a couple of screenshots of some of the sales resources I put together for the distributors. You know, as you can probably imagine, these big, large distributors have lists of hundreds and hundreds of products. So for them to want to sell and be able to sell IntelliIron, which is Hexigone's technology, they need to have all the tools at their fingertips. So I've created portals for each of the distributors. We've got their bespoke logins with their training sessions recorded, frequently asked questions, interactive brochures, as you can see, infographics. So feedback for this has been amazing so far because they've said that they haven't really ever had this sort of support from a supplier before. So it's all helping relationships and helping them, just sell our product better. And finally, another achievement is sort of hitting new regions this year. So through some sort of like market research, competitor research, we've managed to bring on board a Brazilian and Chilean distributor in 2023. Particularly excited about the Brazilian one because it represents one of the largest coatings, anti-corrosive coatings markets in the world. So I'm running out of time, but I'd like to just share with you what I've enjoyed the most about this KTP. Obviously, it's a very fast-paced environment, and you know the project's very ambitious, and I'm really enjoying the challenge that brings. It's a very rewarding role because I can already see in the 18 months that I've spent in the organisation, alongside working closely with the new business development manager, we've really implemented some good strategies, and we're seeing, you know, I think the sales have increased by 5 times since 18 months ago. So that's very rewarding. I've mentioned how much I've enjoyed the opportunities in terms of training. You know, the CIM is really going to be a bit like, you know, a platform for me to sort of launch my career off, as, you know, alongside this KTP. And then last but not least, flexible working. So this is my little boy, Ruben. And due to the flexibility that this KTP offers me, I'm able to condense my hours Monday to Thursday, and I managed to spend my Friday with my little boy. So I'm very grateful to Innovate UK, Swansea Uni and Hexigone for their sort of flexibility, whilst I was trying to get that balance between work and home life right for me. So yeah, all in all, it's been a great experience.
Thank you, Ella.
Hi everyone, my name's Ella Newington and I'm...
And finally, I'd like to introduce Matt, who's another KT associate, Jacob, another KTP associate, who's at a different stage of his journey.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Jacob Mitchell. I did my KTP between KLA and Swansea University that finished at the end of last year. So a little bit about me. I started my education, I did a bachelor's in biochemistry and genetics. I did that back in Swansea University, and then I ended up not leaving. I did my master's in engineering, which is a bit of a pivot. I then did a PhD in nanotechnology, which was another pivot again. And then I got a job as a researcher at the university. And I started working in this field of semiconductors and microchips, microsensors. And then this KTP opportunity came up between KLA and Swansea University. KLA designs and manufactures the production equipment that goes into the worldwide semiconductor industry. So all of the companies that make the microchips, the microphones, sensors, cameras that go into everyone's phones and computers, they produce the production equipment that goes into those large foundries and factories. And the opportunity was to work with Swansea University in looking at new technologies or new applications that their existing tool sets could fit into. And I finished it was a 3-year KTP. I finished that in November last year. And then I got a full-time job at KLA. I'm a senior process engineer in their collaborations team. And I've been there for about a year now. So just across the road, actually, so the other side of the roundabout, there's KLA's SPTS division. So SPTS division started life as a company called SPTS Technologies that was acquired by KLA, and they design and manufacture the actual processing equipment. So microchips, sensors, even like lenses start their life normally on these big discs of silicon called wafers, and they produce the manufacturing equipment that you can see below, which are vacuum based. They do deposition, they do etching, and they do lots of different process steps that go from a plain disk of silicon into the chips that sit inside your phones. And Swansea University have a dedicated technology centre in this space called the Centre for Integrative Semiconductor Materials. They have their own clean room facilities. They have their own manufacturing capability where they are looking at new generations of technology in this space. So it was a really good fit where the tools are being made here in South Wales, and then some of those tools are now in the facilities in Swansea, and they can actually prototype and test new applications with these tool sets. So part of my KTP was focused on one particular tool, which you can see on the screen. This is called a molecular vapor deposition tool, and essentially it creates really, really thin films. So we're talking about atomic thicknesses of really, really, really small in the nanometer range. So it's 1,000 nanometers in a micrometer. A human hair's 100 micrometers in thickness. So we're talking at almost a millionth the thickness of a human hair. So this tool set is a bit unique, where it isn't just designed for this semiconductor silicon wafer manufacturing. It's got quite a large chamber, and it runs at a really low temperature. So you can actually you can basically put anything into this chamber and get atomically layer thick coatings, and you can do a whole variety of different materials. So part of this KTP was looking at what other application spaces separate to the traditional semiconductor industry can this tool set fit into. So we had a few ideas going into it, and the different research teams within Swansea University had their own ideas of where it could fit into. And so a couple of the ones we were quite interested in was the energy storage and energy generation markets, because those are ever so growing as decarbonization and electrification is growing and growing. So we looked at, can energy storage systems like batteries benefit from these atomically thick coatings? So we had a project running with their battery group within the university, so I get to see their battery manufacturing lines there in Swansea University. We applied coatings to specific components within the battery, and then we're able to see that the battery's life cycle was indeed had an advantage in terms of how long this battery's life was. And then we were able to present that in technical briefs that go into our marketing team, and we were able to showcase that at different conferences around the world. Another project we looked at was catalysis. So we looked at both traditional fossil fuel oxidation, but also next generation hydrogen. And this tool is able to, because it deposits like I said, at this atomic level, we're able to deposit clusters of platinum nanoparticles in a fairly uniform way. And these platinum is one of those catalysts that's used for a whole variety of different applications, catalytic converters, but also very important for hydrogen. We were able to deposit this very uniformly across a whole range of different features. You can put in polymers, you can put in plastics, you can put lots of different components in this tool. And that was a really good collaboration. We worked both with Swansea University and even Cardiff University collaborating on this type of project. We've got this wasn't just me. This was a whole team of people. There was teams of researchers based at Swansea University. There was teams of people based in SBTS division, and we were able to cover such a wide variety of topics within this 3-year period. It was very challenging, but also really rewarding. And we were able to showcase lots of new marketing material for this tool set, getting tool sales into completely different areas that we weren't previously in. So in terms of what opportunities and some of the achievements that I got throughout this KTP, so partially from an academic standpoint, but also the company really likes to be able to showcase this technology. I was a co-author on 5 different research publications, and these varied from sensing to catalysis to energy storage. And this is a good opportunity to showcase in a very academic way what the tool can do. So the university was very happy, but the company was very happy as well. I got to travel. I got to go to a variety of different conferences. So I went to Switzerland for an electronics conference, got to showcase the technology in a poster, got to present, got to experience talking in front of lots of people. That was a really good opportunity. I got to travel as far afield as Australia to look at an energy conference where we were showcasing both the energy storage but also energy generation in solar. And I also got the opportunity to improve my own professional development. So I got to go on courses. All KTP associates get to go on a project management and leadership course. That was really beneficial at the start of the KTP. And then I used the professional development budget to go on a Six Sigma training course that was to do with improving process developments. I've had the opportunity to collaborate with a lot of different companies. So like with the energy storage, we were working with a battery company in Oxford. With some of the electronics, we were working with different partners in South Wales in our semiconductor cluster down here in Newport. And the ability to collaborate in this technology space is really essential, and KLA really believes that that's the case. And they have a technology team dedicated to collaboration, and that's where I've ended up. So I spent my 3 years working in this space, gaining these skills, getting to collaborate, making new contacts, working out how these collaborations are benefits to everyone. And now I'm in their industry and customer collaboration team, continuing on in a similar theme to what I was doing during my KTP. And I've enjoyed it over the past year. It's been really good. I don't think I'm going to be leaving just yet. And that's me.
Thank you very much. Where's it gone? Take it. I started out talking about the 3-way partnership, and I started out talking about the skill. It's a shortage. Hopefully what you've seen and heard is that how these partnerships really do grow the skills. I mean, the examples of these associate here are just three. I mean, they've all got fantastic careers. They've all had fantastic experience. The power of a KTP, 140,000. That's how many KTP projects have completed since the start of the scheme. So you imagine 140,000 of these. That's the level of skills that's being developed for UK industry. So if you're interested in finding out more about KTPs, come and talk to me afterwards. Likewise, if you want to talk to these associates, you know where they are. Thank you for the attention. I think we've probably got a little bit of time for questions if anybody's got any.
Do we have any questions from anyone? Don't be shy, just raise your hand. Anything? Any comments? Anything at all? No? Sure, last you. Sir, well done, thank you.
Sorry, without knowing much about this, what type of businesses, size, industry qualifies, don't qualify, are you looking for?
Yeah, in terms of UK businesses, they have to be a UK limited business. So taking profits in the UK. In terms of size, anything really from 5 employees up to whatever, any sector, any industry. As I say, I'm working, you see the sectors that we're working with here, also working with third sector, charity organisations and public sector organisations. So, you know, as long as they're taking profit UK PLC, they're eligible for it.
Obviously, the KTP is grant funded, so this might not apply. But are there any R&D tax credit benefits to KTP?
Yeah, good point. I mean, people that are spending money on this are eligible for R&D tax credits. So for large corporations and small corporations, actually be getting credit for your R&D, which is what this is. There's another payback there. So good question. If you are interested, have a chat.
Okay, well, unless we have any more questions, can we have a round of applause, please, for Professor Rolley and the panelists? Thank you very much. So thank you, Diolch yn fawr iawn. We'll now take a break for lunch, I think, and we'll be back at 2 o'clock for our next session, and it's run by Welsh Government, and it's all about the support for tech innovators. So please join us and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.